is Lena Foster, first name Lena, last name Foster, Foster, and I am the editor-in-chief of the Vermillion newspaper.
We know also ahead of time. Yeah, but communication-wise, everybody's been doing pretty good with that. I just wanted to stress that, especially as we're moving further along and getting into some harder stories and stuff too, because not all sources are just as easy to hit up on that day and to try to get like within like a day or less. So
I remember the very first time that I really saw, or that I actually paid attention to a woman of color in my field, was when I went to this luncheon and this Black woman who was a journalist was getting honored. She not only did that just spark my curiosity and just spark my, passion for it, but it also just became a little bit more relatable because I saw that I grew up with her in my church. She was one of my church members. And so to see somebody come from around the same background that I had, or around the same place that I grew up in, with the same people as well, just to see her be so successful in this particular field, it was something that I knew that I would love to be a part of as well. It was something that I knew I could be, and that also just contributes more to my, development as far as confidence goes, as far as boldness goes, as far as my fierceness goes. And not only that, but I started to expose myself a little bit more to other females in my field, such as Tashara Parker. She's definitely one of my number one idols, I will say, when it comes to the media world. The Vermillion is a student-run newspaper. We cover all things ranging from school events, school news, to national events, national news, to sports events as well, or anything dealing with the sports world, to even just opinions, thoughts that are provided, as you see, by students as well.
The discussions about a bunch of different stuff for our office, but they're seriously proud of you guys and how you're doing well. She has me to come to know them. They're pleased with the content. They're doing good things about it.
I have a good bit of duties that it's not even just specifically like, of course, editing pieces, approving pieces. Those are technically my main responsibilities, editing pieces, just overseeing the operation, overseeing everything happening, make sure, everything that gets put out is of good quality. It's nothing that's censored as well for students or just for anybody that's putting the information out there. And I'm also just doing a lot of proofreading. I do a lot of, managing when it comes to checking in with people, when it comes to making sure that writers or just staff members as well, not just writers, are on track with what their assignment is, what they got going on for that week. So I also communicate amongst just about everybody that is in the Vermillion, just to make sure that everybody is on the same page. We're all unified and stuff.
Ooh, should we start from when the assignment sheet goes out?
yes.
Okay.
So on Wednesday, that's kind of when work on the next issue will begin. So I will send out an assignment sheet to all our writers and designers, and me and Lena will work on the news section for that and basically pick out what news stories are going to be interesting. And from that Wednesday to the next Saturday is when the writers and designers have time to work on their stories and work on their photos and graphics. And there's a lot of going over the articles like several times through, because first we'll have the copy editors and desk heads look at everything on the Google Doc, and then they'll come in the office and look at everything again to make sure, like, fact checking all that.
Like 3 people have to look at it. Then Lena has to look at it.
And then it goes on the layout, and then we'll look at it on the layout, and then it'll be printed, and then we'll look at it on the print version, and then it'll be the final layout, and then we'll look at the final layout.
Do we have enough pictures for like 2 sports stories to take up a whole page?
So really, it's just a safe haven for students to be able to not only come in here and work and develop that experience and develop, that skill set, but it also is just a safe haven for them to come in, to socialize, to just be amongst other students, other like-minded students that have the same ideas as them, that have the same thought process or the same passions as them. And even if they don't, this is also a place for them to expand amongst themselves and get to know different people and get to know different, you know, backgrounds.
And having this job has definitely helped me be able to develop the skills that I need to be able to collaborate with other people, to have that communication. Like, I could just go to them and be like, hey, can you help me fix this thing that's wrong? And it's easy.
There's a reason why it is ran by students. Like, we do have our supervisor, Matthew Tarver, but he really lets the reins go and really just lets us sort of work, I will say. So it is more than a newspaper to me. And I've had to realize that just over time working with the Vermillion, it really is a voice. Just the reaction to see a student come in here and, you know, put in the work and see their stuff get published and put out there, it's like, wow, y'all really gave me this type of platform to be able to, you know, to make my voice heard. So someone can be like, oh, now I know who Adam Stafford is. I know who Lauren Foster is. Oh, I know who Meg Norwood is, you know, based off of the work that they've been able to put together to showcase to students.
Yeah, something like in 2016 for like a weekend, and they had like a Marine reunion.
Okay, yeah, because, well, the thing with that one's going to be put on later because of the fact that homecoming is happening.
Sex of like
That's
the
a big
marriage.
job to manage it in a newspaper.
And is. And is. It definitely is. But honestly, I have so much gratitude towards the staff members that are on the Vermillion, because I couldn't do this alone. And I will admit that wholeheartedly, and I am humbled every time I come into this office and just see staff members working or see them, you know, taking the initiative and doing different things. I really could not get this stuff done just by myself. So I'm so grateful for each and every one of the staff members that are currently working for the Vermillion, and for our supervisor, Mr. Tarver, as well. In this position, I'm really learning a lot about myself, what I need to do, because in the future, I want to open up my own media company. So I'm going to be in that position of power and have that leadership as well to be able to run a whole company, you know? So I whether I wanted to or not, I had to step out. I had to step out of my comfort zone.
That are open on campus right now?
In the student union.
All the venues.
The Vermillion's taught me a lot. It has taught me patience. It has taught me how to be resilient. It has taught me how to it's taught me not to doubt myself. I have for years not been the most confident person, and a lot of people are shocked when they hear that, because I really haven't had a problem with talking to people. Sometimes, like, in my head, it's like, oh, but it's not good enough. Or you see somebody else and it's like, oh, you just did this, but guess what? She just did this. He just did that ×2. And I always had that in my head. And I don't know, being at the Vermillion has allowed me to, like, work on that, you know, self-doubt. It has allowed me to just be myself and be okay with messing up, or be okay with, like I said, not knowing something, or just being okay with expressing myself creatively and not having judgment.
So, I guess I want to start by asking a hard question. Who is Lena Foster to you?
That's a good question. Who is Lena Foster to me? Lena Foster is someone I'm still, you know, cheerfully figuring out. She is someone that has grown into a more independent woman, a more, you know, a more confident woman. A woman that when life challenges are thrown at her, she knows a little bit more now how to maneuver with those challenges, and how to not only, you know, complete or finish whatever task is given to her, she knows how to excel at it. And like I said, she's still figuring herself out, because the more things that I do or the more things that I learn more about myself and what I am capable of doing.